Welcome, tech enthusiasts and AI aficionados, to another mind-bending episode of Navigating the AI Frontier. I'm Mark, your friendly neighborhood nerd herder.
And I'm Tom, the guy who still thinks the cloud is where rain comes from. Together, we're here to make sense of the GenAI landscape without frying our neural networks.
Today, we're diving into the exciting world of identifying anchor tenants and market leaders in GenAI. It's like trying to spot the cool kids in a high school cafeteria, but with more algorithms and fewer food fights. All right, Tom, picture this. The GenAI landscape is like a bustling city. We've got skyscrapers, mom-and-pop shops, and everything in between. Our job is to identify the landmarks and the trendsetters. You know, like finding the Stark Tower in the Marvel Universe.
Oh, great! So we're basically playing Where's Waldo, but with billion-dollar companies instead of a guy in a striped shirt. Sounds easy enough.
Easy there, Captain Sarcasm. It's more like playing 3D chess while riding a roller coaster. But fear not, we've got a secret weapon, Wardley Mapping. It's like Google Maps for the business world, but with fewer recalculating moments. All right, Mark, enlighten me. What exactly are these anchor tenants we're looking for? Are they the ones keeping the GenAI ship from drifting off into the sea of irrelevance?
Close, but not quite, Tom. Anchor tenants in the GenAI world are like the Avengers of the tech world. They're the big players. Think tech giants, research powerhouses, or government agencies that are shaping the industry. They're not just participating, they're setting the rules of the game.
So, they're like the cool kids table in the cafeteria analogy you used earlier?
Exactly. But instead of determining what's cool to wear, they're influencing things like industry standards, research directions, and even policy. And here's a pro tip. In GenAI, the real MVPs are often the ones controlling the foundational models and data sets. They're like the DJs of the AI world. They've got the power to make or break the party.
Okay, I think I'm getting it. So if anchor tenants are the Avengers, are market leaders like the individual superheroes, you know, the Iron Mans and Captain Americas of specific GenAI applications?
Now you're cooking with neural gas, Tom. Market leaders are indeed the standout performers in specific areas of GenAI. They might not control the entire ecosystem, but in their niche, they're the ones to beat.
Got it. So how do we spot these GenAI celebrities? Do we look for the ones with the most Instagram followers?
If only it were that simple. We need to consider factors like market share, technological capabilities, strategic partnerships, and investment patterns. It's like being a detective, but instead of looking for fingerprints, we're tracking AI breakthroughs and funding rounds.
All right, Sherlock, you've mentioned this Wardley map a couple of times. Is it some kind of treasure map that leads us to the pot of AI gold at the end of the rainbow?
Close, but no cigar, Watson. A Wardley map is like a strategic chessboard for the business world. It helps us visualize the GenAI landscape, showing how different components evolve and relate to each other. It's like having X-ray vision for market dynamics.
X-ray vision, huh? So we can see right through the marketing fluff and PR spin?
Exactly. And here's the kicker. In Wardley Mapping, we look at the evolution of technologies and companies. Some might be pioneers in cutting-edge stuff, while others are dominating the more established, commoditized areas. It's like watching the circle of life, but for tech.
Okay, so we've identified these anchor tenants and market leaders. What's next? Do we send them a friend request or challenge them to a dance-off?
As entertaining as an AI dance-off would be, the real game is a bit more strategic. For startups in the GenAI space, this knowledge is power. It helps them spot opportunities, find potential partners, and maybe even identify areas where the current big shots are vulnerable.
So it's less about challenging the Iron Man of GenAI to a duel, and more about finding your own superhero niche?
Bingo! It's about seeing the entire chessboard and planning your moves accordingly. Maybe you partner with a big player, or maybe you find an underserved niche. The key is to use this map to navigate the complex ecosystem and position yourself for success.
All right, Tom, put on your decoder ring. It's time to dive into our Wardley Map analysis. This map is like a snapshot of the GenAI ecosystem, showing us where different players and technologies stand.
Great! I love a good puzzle. So, what secrets is this map revealing to us, oh wise one?
Well, first off, we can see that the tech giants are dominating the upper right quadrant. They're like the Godzillas of GenAI, stomping around with their massive resources and established platforms. But here's where it gets interesting. See these smaller clusters in the lower left? That's where we're seeing potential for disruption through specialized applications and emerging technologies.
Ah, so it's like watching the origin story of the next superhero team? The underdogs who might just save the day?
Exactly. And look at this area in the middle. That's where we're seeing a lot of action in talent development and ethical AI practices. It's like the training montage in every good superhero movie, crucial for long-term success.
So, what's the big takeaway from this map? Besides the fact that we should probably invest in some AI-powered decoder rings?
The key message here is balance. The map shows us that while the big players are important, there's a real need for a diverse ecosystem that encourages both innovation and responsible development. It's not just about creating the most powerful AI, it's about creating AI that's powerful and beneficial to society. And there you have it, folks. We've navigated the wild waters of the GenAI landscape, identified the big fish and the up-and-coming minnows, and even decoded a treasure map along the way. Remember, in the world of GenAI, today's startup could be tomorrow's tech giant, so keep your eyes peeled and your algorithms sharp.
I've got to say, Mark, this journey through the GenAI jungle was way more exciting than I expected. Who knew that mapping could be this thrilling? It's like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Algorithms.
Glad you enjoyed the ride, Tom. To all our listeners out there, remember to check out our book, Navigating the AI Frontier, Wardley Mapping for GenAI Startups, for more in-depth strategies. And don't forget to tune in next time when we'll be discussing AI ethics, teaching robots the difference between good and evil. Until then, keep your neurons firing and your datasets clean.